Welcome back to Boys on Film. Today we are reviewing The Florida Project, which you've just seen.
Yes, quite fresh. Just saw it 2 hours ago.
Sure do. $38 a night.
Okay, I warned you. One drip and you're out.
Oh, come on!
Out now.
It's gonna melt outside.
It's melting inside, too.
But Bobby...
Out.
Thank you very much.
You're not welcome!
Sean Baker is the director of this, who directed Tangerine. Have you seen?
I haven't seen Tangerine. You were just telling me about it.
I really loved it. I can see similarities with this and Tangerine, but it stars Willem Dafoe. He was brilliant in this, I thought.
Yeah, he definitely brought quite a bit to this movie. It's kind of like the glue that held the movie together, actually. So a lot of talk about him getting Best Supporting Actor as well for his role in the Florida Project.
Because I don't think he was necessarily the star of the movie, because I don't think the emphasis was so much on him. It wasn't really about him. It was about the mother and the daughter. The daughter, who I think was amazing, 6-year-old Mooney, obviously being raised by her mother, who is quite angry, quite rebellious.
A child herself.
A child herself.
And it's all sort of centered around basically these sort of groups of people who live in the Florida, I guess, projects.
Yeah. The Pink Project.
Yes, but they're like in hotels and stuff, and they move around from hotel to hotel, you know, $35 a night sort of, you know, rent that they pay. And it sort of tells the story of that sort of lifestyle and what people do around there, around Disneyland,
yes,
to actually survive. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're really near Disneyland, because it's in Orlando, isn't it? Is it Kissimmee in Orlando? You really see so many similarities, but so many differences too, because the similarities obviously is that the Pink Project is where they're living. It's all pink and very colourful and bright. The child, Mooney, I think is quite a happy child. I think, yes, she's naughty, but she seems quite happy.
Yes, well, definitely seem happy. I mean, wouldn't you be happy with pretty much no adult supervision?
Yeah, yeah.
Just run around all day long doing whatever you like.
But I don't think she's mistreated. I think she mistreats other people.
Oh, definitely.
Because obviously the movie starts with Mooney
Yeah.
and her friends spitting on a neighbour's car.
Yes.
And being really, really naughty. But obviously there's a moment where they burn a building down, which was probably the best thing to do.
Pretty bad. There's no adult supervision.
Yeah.
They get to do whatever they want. They're just a ragtag group of kids that go around and be rude to adults and twerk and mimic everything that they see on their iPad, and no education, and you know, sort of at the flip side of, like, you think of like growing up in an urban lifestyle, but this is kind of turning it on its head, really. And this is like, you know, this is happening just right outside of Disneyland.
Yeah, they were very sassy, those kids.
Totally sassy.
They were working it.
Because they can't establish residency in certain hotel rooms, otherwise they can live there forever without having to pay rent. He has to kick them out every once in a while so they don't, under the law, become residents and live there forever. So they have to go and try to stay in another hotel for, I don't know, another night or two, and then they move back into the same hotel. It's just, it's really a slice of life that you don't really think too much about, and how the things that they do to make money and sustaining this kind of odd lifestyle.
Just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Just to keep living, keep surviving.
And I think the thing that really stuck with me is, like, what happens to a person to, like, get them to this point of having to survive in this kind of animalistic sort of way, you know, set against all these bright colors and Orlando, Florida, and happy-go-lucky kids that, you know, really just, they're animals, really.
Running riot.
And then, you know, you have all this chaos going on with the mother and the daughter, and, you know, threats of child services being called all the time. And then here you have Willem Dafoe's character, who tolerates them up to a certain level, but you can tell he sort of takes them on as like a father figure, even though he's just really the landlord and is the general manager of the hotel. Puts up with quite a lot.
But that scene is really shocking, isn't it? Where Hallie is having an argument with Willem Dafoe's character, the janitor.
Yes.
And she marches out of the room, slams the door, and then you see her reaching down and you're not quite sure what she's doing, and then you realise when she slaps the sanitary towel on the window.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's just revolting, but it made me laugh because it was so extreme. But people do behave like that, I guess. And if you're riled up and you're so angry, you would do, I think, well, I don't think the average person would do it, but I think she, obviously she did it.
I don't think she was doing anybody, especially herself, any favors by behaving the way that she does. I mean, she has really one friend in the movie who also is in the same sort of situation, but has her shit together, maybe just 20% more, and she ends up, getting quite violent with her friend and loses her as a friend and realizes, like, shit, I really just lost one of the best things I have in my life, a friend that was actually feeding her kid too, and you kind of just feel, even though you look at her and you're like, girl, get your act together, you do kind of feel sorry for her. You feel empathy.
I was just going to say, did you like her as a character? Because I felt like her, and not felt sorry for her, because I think she brought a lot of the problems onto herself. But I wanted her to make it work.
Yeah.
Because you could see that she was troubled, but you could see that there was a part inside that was just a really lovely girl, but she was doing all these crazy things that were just not causing, they were just causing too many problems.
The way I see it is that she was really clever. Like, the sort of things that she was doing to make money and turn a profit really quickly were quite clever, and things I wouldn't think about, or how the way she chose to feed her children and things like that, very clever. But you think she'd take some of that cleverness and turn it around and use it for good, rather than pretty much breaking the law at every
because that's the thing, isn't it? She was very protective over her child, and that was really evident in the movie. I think you could really see that she was a good mother in that respect, that she was always thinking of her child first.
Yeah.
And very protective in the sense that she would harm other people who got in her way to take her child away. Because obviously the story, it progresses and it's really tough towards the end. But ultimately that closing scene is shot on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Because I think the rest of the movie was shot on 35mm. But that moment, he wanted it to look very, very real, and I think
not exactly Disney subject matter.
No,
in this film.
What a great ending, though! I thought the ending really, it made me feel quite emotional.
See, I was quite happy with that ending. We were just talking about endings with 3 billboards.
Yeah,
but that ending felt like a resolution to a story, even though you didn't know exactly what happened.
I've actually got goosebumps just thinking about that ending, because the way they use the music.
Speaking of music, I think it's the very first scene. It opens up with like Kool and the Gang celebration.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that's what I remember from this morning. And the end, the music as well. So it's like it really sort of, the beginning and end is a little bit uplifting, but it's like the journey through those 2 points are really spine-tingling a little bit.
Yeah. I really liked it. I'd like to see it again, actually, because the more I think about it now afterwards, and I'm thinking about it a lot since I've seen it, especially that last scene.
See, I don't know if I would go so far as to watch it again. These are certain films I like to call slice of life films that are, like Precious and
Fly on the Wall type films.
And Adulthood, those sort of films. I don't know if I necessarily want to watch them, but I appreciate the hour and a half of the story being told. Yeah, because it made me think a little bit.
Yeah, it made me think. I'm going to give it a 4-star. I thought it was touching. I thought it was engaging. I thought it was sad. It was funny, shocking, and I thought it was original. I don't think there are other filmmakers that are doing films in exactly the same way.
I'll give it a 4 stars as well.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.